Hallo und willkommen auf meinem Kanal. Wie ihr seht, gibt es heute ein Video mit jemand anderem, der wird sich auch sicher gleich vorstellen. Das Ganze wird auf Englisch sein und deshalb könnt ihr dann gerne den Untertitel anmachen. Genau. So, very happy to have you on my channel. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself at first?
Yeah, of course. My name's Atticus. I'm a poet and from California.
California, I love that. So you're here in Leipzig.
Which I love, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you your first impression. Have you seen much yet?
Well, I do love Germany, and I grew up with a lot of nature around me, and so it's been really, really inspiring driving on the trains. We've been on a lot of trains and through the countryside, and I find Germany just beautiful, beautiful country.
I think Leipzig as well is a very nice city.
So nice, yeah.
So you're here at the book fair to promote your new book that came out in German, translated by the very talented Kilian Anger.
That's right.
It's published by Bold, and would you like to tell the viewers something about the book?
Yeah, of course. So this is the German version, and it's called Love for Wild, and I separated it into three parts. I wanted to separate it into three themes, and the first one being love. And if you've read any of my work, it's often about love, and I find love very easy to write about. And so the first section is themed around that. And then her is more specifically about a muse, both real muse and imaginary muse, which I often like to write about as well. And then the third being a very consistent theme, I would say, in my writing, and that's this kind of like wild youth. The young love will live forever, and drinking whiskey or wine and skinny dipping and things like this. So that's the wild section.
Yeah, I love Wild the most.
You do?
But it was like such an inspiring book for me.
Well, thank you.
And I think Kilian did such a great job, because I was a bit skeptical at the beginning, because poetry, it's not that easy to translate, but he was great.
One thing I will say about Kilian is that because he is a musician and he's a songwriter, he really was able to capture the cadence and the music of the poetry, and he's also studied, he's like a linguist. And so I think that helped a lot choose the words, the German words.
So what was your inspiration for writing this book?
Yeah, I'm often, it sounds trite, but I'm often just inspired by life and what happens to me and my real relationships. And sometimes it's imaginary. Like I said, I'm trying to picture myself and put myself into situations. But what else inspires me is nature, like I said, and so that's why driving through the German countryside, I've been so inspired.
Yeah, in the second book you also write about Paris and some poems. So maybe we will find a poem about Germany.
Yeah, that's book three, which is
very excited.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and that I'm often inspired by cities as well.
Yeah.
Paris, Munich.
Like every city has its magic.
Yeah.
And Munich I really loved too.
Yeah.
It's with the buildings, and
it's very,
really enjoy being in Munich.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
So you cover like 3 topics and Love for Wild. Do you have a kind of favorite topic to write about, or a topic you write most about?
Yeah, well, I mean, I obviously write about love, but like you said, I really enjoy writing about the kind of wild side of things, the being young and riding motorcycles and drinking and watching sunrises. I'm very nostalgic for that. I like writing about it.
Yeah, actually my favorite quote is the one where she says her favorite color is the sunset.
Oh yeah.
Because I really love sunsets.
You do, yeah. You need to come to California. They have nice sunsets.
I wish. You heard Kilian reading out your poems in German. Do you like the German language, or do you have a kind of favorite word you discovered?
I loved how my poems sound in German, and I have no idea what they mean. I unfortunately can't speak much German, but I love the way it flowed, and that's the kind of beautiful thing about what he's done is it flows musically, even if you don't know entirely what it's saying. You know just words. So I really loved it.
And how is it for you to know that your poems are translated into different languages? What's that like?
It's very humbling. It's been humbling. I think myself personally, and I think many writers don't think that anybody is going to ever want to read what they write. And so when people do, and it actually like goes to different countries, and different countries might want to read it. It's very surprising, at least for me. So, but wonderful, I love Europe, and Europe has inspired all these books, and so the fact that Europe is interested to read these words, it's great. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, I'm very happy that it came out in German, because that's how I really discovered the books, because before that I was just following you on Instagram.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So very cool that both did this.
Yeah. And have you read the both in English and German?
This one just in German, and this one in English.
Yeah.
But I love both.
Thank you.
Kind of talking about words, do you have a favorite word that kind of is special to you, or has like a special meaning? Like in German there are some funny words, for example, Ohrwurm, that means worm in your ear, when you have a song stuck in your head.
Oh yeah, I've heard this.
Yeah, really?
So, Killian said it. Killian told me about the earworm. I've never heard it before. But.
Yeah, it's such a funny word. And like in German we have so many, so do you have a favorite English one? There's
a beautiful word called in English called ineffable, and it means kind of undescribable.
Okay.
And I like that word because so much of the idea of like beauty being ineffable, like in a lot of ways a poet's job is to make something describable or to describe the indescribable, but we'll never actually be perfect at it. We always just try to describe it as best we can. And so I like that word, ineffable, because so much of like love is indescribable. You can try, but you can never reach it. And like I always, beauty in some ways, and so much is indescribable.
Yeah, I love that word.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, ineffable.
You started when you were 18 with writing poetry, right?
Yeah, about that.
So, did you ever wanted to become a poet, or was it like, what was your dream job as a kid?
Yeah, I never thought I'd be a poet. I wasn't really into poetry too much growing up, and so it happened it surprised me as much as anyone. I just wanted it to be a creative outlet. I found I've always enjoyed words, and I've enjoyed reading, and so I never thought to write. And then one day I was in Paris, and I saw something that I thought was beautiful, and I just started to write about it, and it's taken, picked up from there. But it's all been a surprise, and I've just been kind of rolling with it. But yeah.
And dream job as a child?
Someone asked me that. They're like, "What did you want to be as a child?"
And you don't want to tell.
No, it's fine. I said I told him two things. I wanted to write, and I wanted to live on a vineyard. And I recently, I became a poet a short time after that conversation, and then I recently released my own wine. I fulfilled this dream of making my own wine, and so I've in my later life now I'm starting to re-find the truths that I knew as a child.
Well, that sounds so good.
Thank you.
Yesterday you told the audience that you also collabed with some musicians.
Yeah.
If you could choose any musician to collab with, who would you choose?
Wow. Good question. Who would I choose? You know who's really I find talented is Ed Sheeran. Yeah, he's like an incredible songwriter. A very talented musician. It'd be interesting to collaborate with someone like him. And then,
that would be cool. I really love some songs on his new album.
Yeah.
So touching to me.
Yeah. Drake would be cool. Jay-Z maybe.
Jay-Z.
Yeah. Bob Dylan, but he's getting very old.
Yeah.
But he's such a poet, and he's been very inspiring for me. I grew up listening to him.
Yeah, would love to listen to these songs if you would.
Thank you.
If there are some writers of my viewers, like, have you any tips for writing or something like that?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things. The first I would say is just write. And write as much as you can and often as you can, and never put pressure on yourself to write the perfect poem or go out and write the perfect short story. Bukowski, Charles Bukowski said, had a quote that said, if you're trying to write, don't try. And, what he means by that, I've always got what he meant from that was that you shouldn't try to write the perfect piece every time. You should just learn to enjoy writing and do it a lot, and the magic comes out of that.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice quote.
Thank you.
So, kind of my last question, what are your future wishes or dreams in writing stuff?
A few things. I want to keep writing poetry books for a long time.
Yeah.
But I want to write more of a fiction novel, like a love story.
That would be very cool.
Oh, cool! Thank you.
Yeah, mostly I read like new adult.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah, it's also like love story. You can.
No, it's just an alarm going off.
Okay. Mostly read new adult, also love stories that are like with people of my age.
Yeah. Oh,
so
cool.
I really would love to read something by you.
I'd love to do that too. And then, and music. I want to keep exploring the music side because poetry and music are so connected in a lot of ways.
So close to each other.
And so I'd like to continue to explore that and do cool collaborations and work with people that inspire me.
That would be cool.
Thank you,
Yeah, so thank you for the interview.
Thank you, and thank you for listening.
Really enjoyed it, and thanks for the nice answers.
Thank you so much.
So, das war's mit dem Interview mit Atticus. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Lasst gerne einen Daumen nach oben oder ein Abo da, und dann sehen wir uns im